IVM.
Hello and welcome to Smile India. I'm Shifa Maitra, and every Thursday I get you delightful, positive Indian news. Today you get to know why some college students are recording with their grandparents, who gave Jojo the stray dog a personal robo, and more. Let's start from Surat. Find out who is the youngster collecting used PPE kits and masks. Well, he's 27 years old and his name is Dr. Binish Desai. He's an environmentalist who realized that while masks and PPE kits are vital to prevent the spread of COVID, they're being disposed of in such huge numbers that it was an ecological disaster waiting to happen. Binish then recalled an incident from his school days when he was eating chewing gum and quickly put it in his pocket when the teacher walked in. He forgot about it, and a few days later, the gum was hard as a brick. So he knew that something could be done. With old newspapers, glue, and disposed of COVID waste, he and his team started making bricks. It worked, and how? These bricks are eco friendly, stronger than regular bricks, and cost half as much. A few people used them for buildings and were amazed at the results. I am amazed at this man's idea that's solving more than one problem for the country. Soon the team got flooded with national and international orders. His family only noticed what he was doing when they saw the orders coming in. Binish claims the idea came to him from his own mother and that all Indian mothers are recycling experts. That I agree with. Haven't all of us opened a fancy jar of biscuits and seen needles and threads in it? Or a discarded dupatta refurbished as a pretty cushion cover, and you give your mom an impressed look? Well, the next bit of news is also about an Indian mother. Her name is Asha Kandra, and she was working as a municipal sweeper in Jodhpur for the last couple of years. She has two children, and when they were toddlers, her marriage broke up. She needed a job urgently, and when someone suggested this, she took it up. She was barely educated, and although she loved to study, her circumstances did not allow it. So Asha, who'd always been a housewife, now took to sweeping the streets in the morning, looking after her home, and studying at night. Yes, she felt bad when people were rude to her at work or said demeaning things when she asked them not to litter. People around her told her that this is life, make peace with it. She somehow felt education was her key to a better future. So while she put her children in school, she bought old books and studied herself for exams. She got promotions at work and was grateful for a steady income. And when she got a chance, she studied and appeared for government exams. She worked hard even during the pandemic and forgot that the results of those exams never came. A year and a half later, results that were delayed due to the pandemic were declared, and Asha had scored very well. She could now opt for Rajasthan Administrative Services. She did that. She's now a deputy collector at the same place where she was sweeping floors a few weeks ago. She's glad that she did not believe the people who said you cannot change your lot. I'm hoping Asha can inspire other women to dare to dream. In most homes these days, traditional recipes are seldom made, largely because youngsters seem averse to the idea and prefer machine-made fast food. That's why a grandmother was shocked when her young granddaughter came to her with her phone and asked her for a recipe that she'd eaten in her childhood. The girl was Ananya Pujari, who was doing a college project with two of her classmates, Muskan Pal and Khushi Gupta. They were doing their post-graduation in liberal arts in Pune. They decided to do a project where they found and digitally uploaded forgotten recipes from their regions. As they researched, they found very few cookbooks. Most women had notebooks where they diligently wrote down recipes they'd heard of. And in a lot of homes, mothers orally share recipes with their daughters and daughter-in-laws. So the students collected all the material, they did well on the project, and then they realized that they had so much fun doing this and that there was a treasure trove of recipes that were getting lost. The girls got to work, and with the help of classmates and social media, they put together a compilation never done before. They created the Community Kitchen Cookbook, and all this is available online for anyone who loves to cook and eat. During the lockdown, most people realized the importance of home-cooked food, and now you can recreate your childhood treats wherever you live. I think it would be wonderful if a young boy or girl can source an old recipe and delight an elderly grandparent or a neighbor. Next up, I have to tell you about Jojo, a stray in Lucknow who has his own personal robo, who feeds him, gives him medicines, and plays with him. It all began during the lockdown when Milind Raj, a scientist, decided to go out every morning and feed strays. There was this one dog with adorable eyes who used to watch him from the distance but never came to eat. When Milind approached him, he would run away. In a couple of days, Milind realized the dog was ill and not eating wasn't helping. He got a vet to see him. The dog had been beaten up and was now scared of human beings. His hearing and eyesight were also very weak. Milind was able to get the dog home. He was called Jojo, and a friend in the form of a robo was created and programmed for him. Jojo adores him, and now he's eating well and getting better each day. Wish Milind could be cloned and sent to help more furry friends all over India. That's it for today, and I'll be back next week with more delightful news from India. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and get vaccinated. For more interesting information on our country, please like and follow Good News Indians on Facebook. To hear more engaging podcasts, download the IVM app, go to the IVM website, or look for us wherever you get podcasts from. To stay in touch with me, you could look up Shifa Maitra on Twitter and Instagram. Since you heard and liked Smile India in English, you could check out our Hindi version too and recommend it to people who prefer podcasts in Hindi.
Hey, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. We have a new collaboration with Hunts Magazine, and there's a show called Hunts Vani that's come out from that. Treat yourself to Sarita Panti's beautiful ghazal, Dar Raha Hai Muskurane Se Koi, voiced by Jashne Kalam artist Shashwata Sharma. On Postcards from Nowhere, discover how two different systems on writing were developed, one in Kashmir and one in Kerala. Kunal and Shivani Rajput talk about fitness, entrepreneurship, sibling rivalry, and share their Raksha Bandhan plans on Agla Station Adulthood. Dr. Rajiv and Manik Deshmukh share the love story behind their 52-year marriage on Marathi Kirkitun. Chuck tells us about 5 lessons he's learned on The Habit Coach with Ashton. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any other show for that matter, please do tell a friend. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week, Siet, Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quarter, CoinSwitch, Kuber, and Intuit India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy. If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.